we got Laos, a communist country. What's some more interesting things that you didn't know about? Let's talk more about that, guys. Hey, what's up, guys? Lalone Top 10s here with another awesome video meant just for you. Alright, so Laos is a interesting place, packed with rainforests, king cobras that are 14 feet long, stunning natural beauty, and relics of ancient civilizations. Those things are interesting, but we're here for the very weird stuff. Welcome to Laos, America. Enjoy your stay, and don't forget to tip your policeman, because you have to. So anyway, here are the top 10 fascinating facts about Laos. And hint, this video is meant for educational purposes, and well, you could probably go ahead and go, you could go ahead and go tell your children about this if adults are watching this, or something like that. Not exactly sure. Let's get to the video. How about that? So, first of all, we're going to start off with number 10 now, with the children of CIA-trained operatives still fight the government of Laos. Imagine what it might be like for the descendants of the Hmong fighters who took part in the Vietnam War. Your grandparents were trained by the CIA to kill communists, so your whole family has been on the run, hiding in the jungle, and conducting guerrilla campaigns for 45 years straight. Now, it would be nice to maybe stop becoming a combatant in the war that your gramps got drafted into, but coming out of the jungle has dangers. Just some month ago, we reported cases where two small groups of women and children came out of hiding. The women and girls were gang raped by the soldiers. Children as young as 9 years old were raped to death, said Chao Cheng, the president of Hmong American Mutual Assistance Organization. It must be a strange thing to know what the US guaranteed asylum to those who helped them during the war. And yet, there you are, starving in the jungle, being hunted by the army, and with no way to escape. After Vietnam, about 300-some thousand ethnic Hmong fled to Thailand, and eventually 145,000 settled in America. Ironically, after arming people against the communists in the first place, it was US intelligence that thwarted a coup by the Hmong in Laos back in 2007. According to charges filed in federal court, 9 ethnic Hmong and 1 retired lieutenant colonel from the California National Guard planned to train the militia, equip them with $9.8 million worth of weapons, smuggle them to Laos through Thailand, attack key government institutions and installations, and seat themselves as the new ruling regime. Which, of course, Laos, we're still friends with, although they're communist. I mean, I would say seriously stop their communism, but hey, I mean, we should not go into war with them people. I just want to warn you, don't go into war with Laos. They don't like to go in war. And speaking of war, we're going to be talking about bombs now, with number 9 is that Laos is the world's most bombed country. During Vietnam, the US dropped 270 million bombs on Laos. 30% of them didn't explode. In times, there was more ordnance dropped on Laos than in Europe during the entirety of World War II. Today, hundreds of Laotians are maimed or killed by previously unexploded bombs. 1/3 of these victims either lose a limb or eyesight. In a developing country dependent on manual labor, the effect is devastating. When 35% of the entire nation is contaminated with unexploded ordnance, and everyone depends on working the land, it is little wonder that Laos is so poor. The secret war ended decades ago, but cluster bombs, grenades, and mortars from the past make the Ho Chi Minh Trail a deadly place to live. Alright, we're going to go on to number 8 now, with it's one of the last communist states depended on capitalist aid. So that's why I'm saying America's friends with Laos, essentially. Now, the economy of Laos has grown at a yearly rate of 6 to 7% ever since 1986, when the communist government loosened central economic control and allowed private enterprise. However, the nation is still largely dependent on foreign aid. In the mid-1990s, the president No Hoc Viem Savan, an elderly disciple of Ho Chi Minh himself, an astonished Marxist-Leninist, is still committed to moving the nation toward true communism. At the time, critics in the party said this: "We were a little dogmatic in the past and made a mistaken analysis. Laos is not yet ready for communism or capitalism. First, we must reach the point where we can opt for one or the other. We must be a little realistic. The of, well, the economy is the obstacle. So, even though conditions are improving, the position is still hard to dispute. In the 2016 United Nations Human Development Index remains what remains near the bottom. Laos is at 138 out of 188 countries. Now, life expectancy at birth is a little over 66 years, which is up from 50 years as of the mid-1990s. Of 1,000 children born in 2012, 71 are expected to die before the age of 5. This is a reduction of 56% from the 1990 rate of 163 per 1,000 births. However, Laos still experiences more deaths under age 5 than its neighboring hood countries. Malnutrition plays a large role in this unacceptably high death rate of young children. Just want to let you know. Alright, we're going to go on to number 7 now, with the deforestation is a threat to the future of Laos. In 2005, 70% of Laos was covered in rainforest. Today, 40% of that remains. Still, Laos is the site of some of the world's last remaining true wilderness. A small population in relative isolation from the predation of mass capitalism due to the controlled economy have protected much of the more remote parts. However, the decentralization of forest management by the government directly contributes to the acceleration of woodland exploitation. An estimated 50% of the rainforest in Laos is primary forest, meaning that it is of indigenous species of trees and shows very little interference from mankind. As we move into the phase of life on Earth, where resource conflict between nations is likely, we can hope that Laos avoids the worst of all. Think about it, guys. Alright, we're going to head on to number 6 now, with in Laos, the opium of the masses is just opium. In Laos, smoking opium is punishable by 3 to 10 years in prison. Well, in America, it's a lot more criminal-related things. You know, it's a little bit more harsher. Possession of less than a kilogram can bring up to a sentence of 2 to 7 years. Despite this, the law is regularly floated. Cafes in notorious backpacker destination Vang Vieng, the town where teenagers rule the world, according to the New Zealand Herald, until quite recently open advertised opium tea in joints as well as magic mushroom pizzas, which are both very illegal in America. Of course, if you are caught by the police in the capital of Laos in downtown, you're going to be wanting a lawyer and a whole ton of luck. You want the lawyer to fight the trumped up charges, and you'll want the luck so you can see the lawyer at all before being shot. In 2009, this was the case for a pregnant British woman by the name of Samantha O'Roberts, who was accused of smuggling heroin. It was 9 months before she saw a lawyer, and somehow became pregnant 4 months after being arrested. This eventually saved her from the firing squad. Still, life in a Laotian jail for moving drugs really isn't worth it, guys. I mean, it's just as not good as Vietnam or China, North Korea, you know. Look, that's just something I want to go to in Laos, right? Alright, we're going to head on and be disgusting about number 5 with rat jerky, deep-fried grasshoppers, or chicken feet. All bear the Wendy's. Now, the cultural differences between West and the East are often described through the dinner plate. Cultural equivalence dictates that there are no wrong answers when it comes to satisfying taste buds. So if you're proud to partake of pecan pie, well, that's fine. On the other hand, you could be a little more open-minded and eat this jerky-style skin rodent with a dipping sauce made of its own blood. Don't be so squeamish. Embrace our differences. It's the same as lasagna, right? Alright, we're going to head on to number 4 now, with a lawless party town is an exercise in Darwinism. We mentioned Vang Vieng earlier as a tourist-oriented, drug-infested town, although some steps have made it recently to reduce the number of dead tourists. The body count is still impressive. In 2011, 27 backpackers died at a site that is visited by 150,000 travelers every year, due to a perfect storm of cheap whiskey, psychedelics, opiates, youthful extravagance, and a disregard for warning signs. Travelers have been getting fished out of the river with broken necks and lungs full of water for years. Every death is a tragedy, but now that people are wearing life jackets while they climb into truck inner tubes and ride the river, the death toll is expected to decrease. Then again, if you're too stupid to read a sign saying "do not jump, you will die," you don't deserve to breed. I mean, ever. Alright, you'll be shocked with number 3. Sapphires and corruption and dead lawyers. Oh my people. I mean, yeah, that's all crazy in Laos. Everyone loves a good shaggy dog story. The one told here, just for you guys, is particularly great and true. A tale of sapphire deals and murder. Back in the 1990s, an Aussie SAS veteran, an American racketeer, and a crooked lawyer formed an unlikely partnership to launder $20 million through the purchase of Laotian sapphires. After running a savage burn across 2 countries, the lawyer ended up mysteriously dead in a hotel in Phnom Penh, which is the capital of Cambodia. Please do excuse my Khmer pronunciation. Well, guess what? The lawyer, he had not been robbed of anything except his laptop, which contained all the access codes to millions of dollars worth in claimed money. Who ended up with the loot is anyone's guess. In the Golden Triangle of heroin production, there are some of the finest silver jewelry smiths in the world, and relatively unexploded supply of sapphires also awaits for anyone who stays alive long enough to get them out of the country. Simple as that. Alright, we're going to head on to number 2 now with a plain of jars. According to some people, the stone vessels in Laos' famous plain of jars were created to brew potent rice wine like sake to celebrate the victory of a band of mythical giants over their enemies. Others say that the jars held whiskey for a thirsty giant who lived in the mountains above Phnom Penh. The jars might also be respiratories with the ashes of cremated royalty. No one knows for sure. Alright, we do know that 2,500 years ago, the civilization in the area they really liked big jars. So they baked hundreds of them, up to 10 feet tall and about 3 feet across, and placed them in the fields. Covered a huge area, many of the sites coincide with the aforementioned bomb zones and are inaccessible to visitors. Whatever the reason these ancient peoples had, we are left with only trace evidence of their lives. I can only guess as to the purpose of the jars. Alright, we're going to head on to number 1 now. We're going to finally end up this list with corruption is the regular. Alright, so in September 2014, Laos Prime Minister Thong Sing Mevong signed a decree number 327 into law, banning online criticism of the government. Obviously, all communist countries do that. And the ruling Communist Party and ratifying penalties for citizens who violate government controls. Now, as a result, exposing the corruption that is part of everyday life in Laos is now illegal, which makes people, obviously more ended up in jails. So, even if your brother is detained illegally by corrupt cops, it's against the law for you to do anything about it. This was discovered by 26-year-old Phuat Matain, who lived in Nguyen village and took photographs as police impounded her brother's truck in documentation charges. She was taken into custody without being arrested after the photographs surfaced on Facebook. While it is common to bribe the police in Laos, the advances in technology have made it possible for Laotians to criticize this behavior online in masse. In Laos, it is illegal to disseminate content that encourages terrorism and social disorder, or that could, quote-unquote, divide the solidarity among ethnic groups and between countries. Alright. In layman's terms, the state knows that about the corruption, but it doesn't want you to do anything about it. Well, that is it, guys. Hopefully, if you want to learn anything more about Laos, or if you have something else about Laos that you want to tell me about, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you all about it. Alright guys, that's pretty much about it. Hopefully, if you like this well-known Top 10s production, make sure you stay tuned Monday through Friday, so that I can show you brand new Top 10s and more random facts every Friday. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and don't forget to share this video. See you guys next time. Take care.